Hello, this is Juris Kaja, and I am making an attempt at a video CV. I'm a experienced and multilingual business journalist, presently living in Riga, Latvia, but because of the economic conditions, I am really seriously looking for a plan B in order to get out of here, not so much for myself. My present work is reasonably satisfying, but mainly because I want to have a future for my 15-year-old son, and to be in a place where the social and healthcare infrastructure is better than it can possibly be in Latvia, since I am not exactly the youngest of all possible people. But I have a few good years left, and that is the point. I can work in a multilingual, multicultural environment. I can do translation from Swedish to English, from Swedish to Latvian, from English to Latvian, and I have worked with business journalism, with IT and telecoms journalism. I've written for a lot of publications in the past, although mainly I've worked here in Latvia for the past 15 years for Latvian language publications. I've done a television show here in Latvia about technology, and I've done a lot of video blogs, both as part of my day job and on my own in any number of my blogs, which I will leave links to on the text accompanying this kind of video CV. So I think I'm a pretty interesting and capable candidate for doing work as a freelance reporter, as a staff journalist of some kind, as a copywriter, as a translator, or any and all of these functions in some combination. The locations that I'm most interested in are, of course, Sweden, because I'm fluent in Swedish, maybe the UK, because that might be the country best suited for moving my family to, because my son speaks excellent English, although with an American accent. Again, getting back to Sweden, the reason I would be interested in Sweden is because I already have a small residence there, and I have lived there for quite a few years before moving to Latvia in the mid-1990s, and it would be very easy for me to get back into the swing of things, if that is at all possible, probably in Sweden, rather than moving to a totally new environment and country. Another place that I am familiar with, where I have worked and where I do speak the language reasonably well, is Germany. I've lived both in Munich, where I worked for Radio Liberty, or Radio for Europe, and in Munich I was also starting as a freelancer, but I moved on to become a staff journalist with AP Dow Jones, which is now called Dow Jones Newswires, and I was their correspondent in Frankfurt and later on in Stockholm. And I've written for a lot of international newspapers when I was in Sweden, for the Christian Science Monitor, for the International Herald Tribune, a lot of stuff that I can, put on a CV. If anybody's interested in getting one from me, I can send that along to you. But this is kind of an appeal to anybody who sees this. If you have any tips or hints or ideas as to where I could find suitable, more or less steady freelance employment, or even a full-time job in Sweden, in the UK, maybe even in Germany, I'd be very much interested. And just to make sure that I've completely described my sort of skills and abilities, I've also been a radio journalist. I've worked both for as I said, Radio Liberty in Latvian, and I have worked also for the Latvian and English language services of Radio Sweden back in the late 80s and up until the mid-90s. So I am skilled in all media, in both written, video, and the radio, as well as blogging and putting up stuff on the internet. So if anybody is interested in me, as I said, a few more good years, I would be very happy to get in touch and give you more details about myself and look into the possibility of doing either permanent or freelance work on a steady basis for you. My details should appear on the screen.